Hey guys, how are you? Super cold where I am. I'm glad you're doing good. Who would win a drinking contest? Oh, that's a hard one. I would tend to say probably Revi because she drinks rum versus like Misato only drinks beer. Oh, I guess I don't need my headphones. I'm not doing React today. I mean, like, I think, well, Misato drinks a little bit of everything, but so I don't know. But I think, yeah, probably Revi would outdrink her. I used to be like more of a beer person, but now I'm more of a rum person. Yeah. I don't think Masato's a lightweight. I think she just like drinks so much that, it gets problematic. Because they show her apartment being filled with like hundreds of bottles. Yep. Um, I'm trying to live stream to YouTube too, but the comments, I don't think they're coming up. Oh, I think I figured it out. Hold on. Because I want the YouTube people to be able to chat to. Favorite prehistoric era: Jurassic, Triassic, or Cretaceous? Definitely Cretaceous, because Cretaceous is where the most dinosaurs are that I'm interested in, like Velociraptor and all the little bird-like dinosaurs, T-Rex, like a lot of the cool carnivores. Also, flowers were first around in the Cretaceous period, so the plants were pretty interesting. But I love the long necks. They're a little more. Long necks are like Cretaceous too, but they're a little more Jurassic y. But yeah, I would say overall Cretaceous. Okay, I think I might have fixed it. Yay. Okay, I fixed the YouTube thing, I think. So, yeah, I think now you can comment if you're on YouTube too. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's like cold where I am, so I'm wearing my sweatpants. I can show you guys my camo. Little bullets on there. Um, I don't like the cold. Hey Dennis. Hey Logan. Yeah, sauropods are awesome. Yes, I like the tiny dudes. That's what I study the most are the tiny dudes. Tiny dinos. Hey. There's like snow kind of southeast of me a little. They weren't sure if we were gonna get snow today, but we didn't get snow, but we got like cold rain. Yeah, like I think snow is pretty, but I don't for a little bit, but I don't want to live in it and I don't want to live in the cold. So I am from New York, so I have lived in that before. And then the snow turns into sleet and it's not fun. Hey J Star Force, how are you? Tiny dinos are the best. Aw, it's cute. I'm doing pretty good. What about you guys? What have you been up to? Yeah, you guys get so much snow. It's way colder up there. I already think New York is really cold. Too cold for me. Yeah, Jurassic Park 2. The girls feeding the compies, little Compsognathus. And that was a mistake. I feel like that's something I would have done as a little girl, though. I feel for her. Hey, Sentient Scarecrow. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to IkiCon this weekend, so that would be fun. So yeah, you can always feel free to come say hi and take some pictures if you guys want. You're on fire. Oh, you're in California. I hope you're safe. Yeah, that looks scary. Your favorite band, Talk Talk. That's cool. Drawing sounds fun. I like drawing. Yeah, I think this is the coldest week we're supposed to get for a while here, but writing and gaming, that's fun. I was just playing Fortnite a little bit before this. MALA started today. Oh yeah. Damn. Yeah, how is it? That's crazy. Mm, what else did I do today? I went to the gym. Um, I don't know. I've been kind of like chilling lately. I'm going to the gym. Like, I don't have a lot of new stuff to report. About zombies, that's fun. I still haven't played it, but I actually have it on my computer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about on stream today. I don't really have a topic, so unless you guys want to suggest one, or we could just talk about random stuff. You're writing about talking dinosaurs? That's fun. What do you guys want to talk about? My head is just like blank right now. I can also see what I asked people on Instagram to, hey, talk about our feelings. Sure, yeah. What are your feelings? Hatsune Miku's in Fortnite. That's cool. I might have to get some accessories. I really want Rick Sanchez to come back in Fortnite though. Rocco's in bed. That's cute. Sounds cozy. Okay, so talking about our feelings, I can go first. But jump in whenever. I'll break the ice for you guys. Yeah, feelings, like, it's been good, I think, overall, but like hard. I think it's hard to be motivated right now for me. But it's like I am motivated, but it's hard to like just do the stuff that I know I need to do right now. If that makes sense. But once I do it and if I don't procrastinate, I feel better about it. But I'm kind of like just on edge right now for whatever reason. Like, I don't really know. Just been a little more on edge lately, but that's okay. It happens. So, just trying to take things day by day. Oh, funniest convention stories. That's true. That's a good idea. I'll try to think of some. Yeah, Freerun. I love Freerun. It's like Freerun's cool because it can be really lighthearted and then be really like, yeah, really like sad too and deep. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how my life has been lately. Like, it'll have moments of really fun, lightheartedness, but then a lot of like deep stuff with like dark feelings. Your laziness is holding you back from doing the things you want. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to push back, even if, I mean, it might be also like, there could be like a million reasons why you don't want to do something, but I definitely find that if I just do it anyway and just push past those feelings, then it gets a lot easier. to like keep doing things. And I just feel like I don't have it like a weight over myself, if that makes sense. It's not like weighing on me. You started Mashal. What is Mashal? Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Jerome. That's really hard. I think you never really stop grieving over someone who's passed. Like I still have those feelings too. I've been dealing with some of that recently. Um, but yeah, I think it kind of part of it never goes away because grief is like love that can't go anywhere because the person's not around for you to give the love to. So you just have like memories and an absence of them. And of course you love them, so it'll always be there, but that just means, you love them. But it's hard. I I get really frustrated with it sometimes because like my dad died I guess like 2019. That's like 5 years ago or 6 years ago at this point. So um I get really frustrated with sometimes with having to feel grief because I don't really like to feel my emotions. But I try to make myself feel them because it's better if you just can feel them and let them go. Um, but yeah, I don't like to feel grief, so I just try not to feel it. But that's like not a good solution. It's just, but it's frustrating that it like comes back. But then it's like at the same time, um, comes back because I think of my dad or something reminds me of him, so that it's not like all bad, I guess. Yeah, this time of year, I agree with you, Sentient Scarecrow. This time of year has always been so hard for me. Like, I think I don't know, like always, but especially since like middle school and high school, I just remember hating this time of year. Um, like after Christmas until kind of March, like mid March, because it's cold and it just feels like, I don't know, something about it doesn't feel very good. I kind of like summer is my favorite time, like late spring, early midsummer. Midsummer. Oh my god, it just glitched when I did that too. Midsummer. I like midsummer because I'm an angry woman. Um, Sometimes you struggle to write and struggle to make things with 3D modeling. Yeah, I think even like I struggle to do things I like all the time. Especially like sometimes I'll be scrolling on my phone for a while and I'll be like, "Oh, you need to get off your phone and like do something to calm yourself that's like not on your phone." But then I'll just like not want to do it. So, I get that. It's hard to push yourself. Yeah. I think sometimes Freerun or Evangelion or something, sometimes when you watch stuff like that, you have to be prepared to like cry. Um, but sometimes it's good because you can like if you're like me, like I hold in my emotions, like I don't even like cry to myself when I'm alone because I like hate crying. Like I just hate like the feeling of it, but like it's good to cry and let it out. It's better to cry and let it out. Okay? So try to cry. So like sometimes it's good if even though I hate it, if like a show or a movie forces me to cry, even though I'm like so pissed off, I'm like happy after, because then I feel so much better because I let out my sad emotions. I probably like should have cried 2 weeks ago, but like, you know, it'll come at some point. Something will force me to cry and then I'll feel better. That's probably why I'm on edge. um, oh, you struggle with physical limitations that you once did not struggle with and accepting the reality of that. That must be really hard. Um, I've watched people close to me go through that, and it was like really just hard and heartbreaking to watch. So, yeah, my heart goes out to you. Um, but I have like some scars from like some illnesses and injuries I have that like affect things, but not like what you're talking about to that level yet, like luckily, but um even like, but I've been through stuff like that before where like just a change in your body where you can't do something without caring anymore, like it really sucks. But it's pretty badass that you're still going at the same time, right? So you're a survivor. I'm sorry though, because it really does suck. Um, yeah, a lot of you guys are talking about grief in this time of year. I think this time of year really like it does kind of bring a grief sadness vibe because like there's Christmas and like I mean I like Christmas, but Christmas like for me comes with a sadness to it because um you know, I think Christmas comes with sadness for a lot of people who kind of come from like broken homes and difficult backgrounds like I do, like, and maybe you don't see your family anymore for certain reasons, or like, and I've lost members of my family too, so I don't know. And I think like a lot of people just tend to die in the winter. Like, I don't know if that's statistically true, but like a lot of people I know, like their loved ones kind of die from like November to like February. So maybe that's also why it's like feels kind of rough. Mm. But it is rough for a lot of people. So you're not alone, including me. It's rough. It's rough for all of us out here, guys. But we're going to thug it out. We're going to survive. Okay? Because we're badass. And we're not going to give up. We're never back down, never what. When life has you up against the rope, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting back as we cry out our feelings. Yeah, I would agree with Jolly Reaper 88. Like grief definitely it gets easier over time. Even though it never goes away, it does get easier. And like when my dad died at first, I would just have like flashbacks and like only think about the bad things and like the end and the traumatic things. But later, things like it's like the good memories started coming back and kind of like how I remembered him before he got sick, like it would start to come back. And now I mostly remember the good times and think of the good times. So like that is a good thing. Definitely like get help if you need. I mean, we all probably need help at this point. So the world's kind of fucked up, but definitely get help. We could all use a little help and friends to lean on. Thank Thank you, Shinji Gami, for following me. Ara ara. Shinji. But I'm sorry for all of your losses, guys. I do not want to make light of that. That is really hard. Thanks, Jolly Reaper 88 Ara for following me. I mean, your name kind of says it all, Jolly Reaper. So we have to live with both. Sad. Oh, seasonal affective disorder. I think I have a little bit of it because I like really, yeah, I like the sun. I like bright sun. Makes me happy. Bright tropical summer and palm trees and ocean. Oh, thank you, Shinji Gami. I just saw your saying you love my content. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm a little behind on the chat because I was talking about death. Oh yeah, I still need to watch Cyberpunk. That's why I've been kind of avoiding it though, because people say it's depressing, and then if someone tells me something's depressing, I kind of avoid it sometimes. It depends what it's about. Like, cause I'm like, I can like listen about to murder podcasts all day, but like if I have to watch a emotional anime, I might start crying. Hi, Akira. Hi, Andy. Thank you. I'm glad you like the cosplays. There's gonna be more for sure. I'm glad you liked the vulnerable piece too. I'm gonna be definitely, I mean, as you guys see, I'm gonna be more vulnerable. That's what I want to change this year. And I already changed it starting day one. So I'm being vulnerable. Even though it can be scary sometimes. But it's actually not as scary as I thought it would be once I started doing it. It feels good to like be seen for who I am, you know? Don't take a ski lift to the head. Oh my god, that's scary. See, I'm scared of skiing. I've never been skiing because I came from like a poorer family. So I never like, and I never had friends that skied. And like, whenever people tell me like skiing is so fun, I'm like, no, I'm fucking scared. I read too many chicken noodle soup for the soul ski accident stories for that. I mean, it looks kind of fun. I don't know. I think snowboarding kind of looks more fun though. But that also looks very scary. Mm. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Jolly Reaper. Yeah, I like what you're saying. Exactly. Like, we heal and adapt because that's all we can do. And, like, we can do amazing things if we just, even if you take steps back or you have, like, bad days, like, really shit days or shit weeks or shit months, like, it's okay because you can wake up tomorrow and change your life. And every day you can change your life a little bit just by like doing what you need to do. And like sometimes that's just resting in your bed and like doing nothing. And sometimes it's like working, but it's all about your mindset, I think. And you know, like if something doesn't work, change it and see, just keep doing that, keep changing it until it works, and then you'll learn how to adapt. We just have to enjoy the time we have left, you know? Yeah, exactly. We gotta smile at death. Sorry, I'm kind of behind on the chat, I feel like, but yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's like fucking smile at death, because death is coming for you anyway. You might as well smile. Might as well enjoy the ride. You have to cry, Shinji. Start crying, or else I'm gonna make you get in the Ava. Or actually, you know what? Getting the Ava 2 for 1, because you're gonna cry while you're getting in the Ava. So go. But I don't have to cry because I don't have anything that I need to cry about. Okay. Real recognizes real. Yeah, I'm just so sick of people being fake, like everywhere, like online and in person stuff. I'm like, guys, like we survived a pandemic, we survived all kind of shit at this point. Like, can we stop pretending? Can we stop fucking pretending and just like be for real right now? Yeah, we are a species that adapts to anything. It's very Evangelion too. I think that's why the dinosaurs are so interesting too to so many people, including me, obviously. Um, because the dinosaurs are also a species that can adapt to anything because they're still alive as birds. They changed almost like everything about themselves in a way to survive. And um, they changed into all of these different like sizes and shapes and forms and colors and like over 10,000 species. So it's kind of beautiful. It's like the dinosaurs didn't really die, they just adapted after there was like, you know, this big loss from the comet. They still kept going. So it still is really kind of the age of the dinosaurs. Yeah, Magus Union is right too. There's also, I should actually cover more extinction events because there were actually way bigger and crazier extinction events before the dinosaurs started walking on the earth. Oh, the Ava. I think, well, the Ava goes berserk when Shinji's mom is trying to protect him. So it's not really when Shinji cries, but it's more like when if Shinji is about to die, or same for Asuka. Like if Asuka or Shinji are about to die and they've like kind of used every last bit of energy or whatever that they have, then their deceased mothers in the Ava, whose personalities are put into the robot, like awaken, and they're like these like primal like I don't know, it almost comes across like these primal like gorilla like type things, and they're just like, like I'm gonna protect my baby. So I think that's what the Ava Berserk thing is. That's what's happening, and then its eyes are red. It's like eating the other Ava. It's like hunched over. It's like cosplaying the actual Ava. I thought about doing that. I've seen some people do it. Um, it looks kind of cool, but like I don't really like to wear like cosplays with masks on them just because I think masks are really annoying to deal with. but maybe if there was a way, like, I think it would be cool, like, there's not, I don't know how you would do this, but I do think it'd be cool to, like, cosplay Asuka in like, if I could, like, somehow cosplay, like, the inside of, like, Asuka inside and then have the Ava, like, around me or something. I just need my own personal life-size Evangelion, and, you know, I think that is a really realistic goal that I can have for 2025. Yeah, I mean, reality is crazy. Oh, to share my music, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can also join my Discord and, like, put it in, tag me with your music or something. Or you can also tag me on Instagram if you post your music, I guess. Oh, finding out birds or dinosaurs shattered your world. Yeah, I remember when I found out, when I was little, I was so confused. Like, I was eating chicken and my mom was like, and I was like, so, like, are giraffes, like, related to long neck dinosaurs because they have long necks? And she was like, no, because they don't, that's not how evolution works. And giraffes are mammals, but birds are dinosaurs, so you're eating a dinosaur. And I was like, what? And I was like, no, that's so unfair because the dinosaurs are so tiny now. I was so disappointed. But as I got older, like, now I know how cool birds are. My favorite fossil Pokemon, I don't, maybe Aurorus. I like Aurorus a lot. But also, like, Aerodactyl, of course. Thank you, Beasky89, for subscribing. Ada ada. Yeah, the Avas look really creepy. The creepiest part that, like, creeps me out every time in Evangelion is when Shinji looks, like, to his right and then the fucking Ava looks at him and its eyes just, like, so big and in green and looking at him, and it's like, no, I don't want to look at its eyes. I don't want to look at its eyes. To all of Shinji's moms. What are you talking about? Misato is all of Shinji's moms. I'm enough. I'm a good mother to him. Thank you, Not Soap 33, for following. Ada ada. Yeah, armor and masks. I do want to do armor at some point, but I'm not sure, like, what kind is super expensive. Yeah, I'll just go to Japan. Oh, thank you, M-man. Ada ada. Yeah, that leather is so sweaty. My Misato jacket with the fake leather, that thing is so sweaty. I cannot breathe on my arms in that thing. Okay, I will check. Hi, Liquid Shinjo. We were just talking about getting in the Ava. So you came at the perfect time. You've never seen Evangelion. I highly recommend it. I'm sorry, 5 stars. Thank you, Giyu FPS, for subscribing. Ada. If you're facing eviction, I'm sorry, I don't know where you live or anything, but yeah, that sucks. But there's lots of like resources you can look for to get help from. I'm sorry though, that's scary. I've been there before. Just, yeah, try to I don't know. I feel like I can't really give advice because I don't really know the situation, but I feel for you. Zato's best alcoholic mother with the pep dino. Yeah, I have Pen, but I have to keep him away from my cats because he has a little foam collar I made for him, so I keep him in the pantry. Hey, Matt. How are you? Shinji works as an accountant, but every time he's on break, he's the only one left out of the coworkers' birthday parties. But why? Poor Shinji. Do I think Gendo slept with people? Definitely not for power. I think he loved his first wife, and then Yui so much, and obviously that's why he's created these robots to try to resurrect her and meet her in the instrumentality project, like any normal person would do after their spouse passes away. Yeah, and then I think he just slept with Ritsuko and her mom because he was like lonely or like needed sex or whatever. Um, I don't know if like he had feelings for either of them. Like he claims that he loves Ritsuko, but like I don't know. I haven't really seen that man love anyone except Shinji's mom, and it was very like silent, and I don't really know how to read it. It's like he's just kind of like a wall of like silence, or he's angry. But yeah, I think the only person he really loved is Yui, and like everyone else is he's just using to get to that. So that could have been another motivation, is like he has more control over Ritsuko and her mother, who are running the Magi computer that they need to power all the Avas, and they need the scientists to make the Avas, and like Ritsuko and her mom are in charge. So like if he's sleeping with them, he has control over them, but that also seems kind of risky, but maybe it's not, because he's pretty consistent. Like he's not the kind of person that's just gonna lash out and like ruin his whole plan, He's kind of cold and calculating. Oh yeah, okay, maybe I'll add some armor to my throne. I have some latex stuff on my throne wish list. Okay. Yeah, let's just keep talking about Gendo's sex life. So I don't know. I think my impression was like he only slept with um Ritsuko and her mom. I don't think he would sleep with everyone, because it would kind of like, I think people would talk too much and that would be a liability for him. I think that was more like Kaji's thing. And that's why Masato would get so pissed off. Although I think like Kaji definitely was like playing that up more, like playing up the idea that he was sleeping with a lot of people to kind of seem like he wasn't a threat, when in reality he was a spy. So like I don't know how many people he actually slept with, like if he actually was like, you know, that, or if he was just kind of playing that up to like piss off Masato and like seem non-threatening to the employees. So many things I want to know about Evangelion. You have a dino question. What is it? Oh, hi, know your bro. I mean, it's not like that dark of a question, honestly. I don't think. Okay, also. Oh, thank you, 3L Hugo, for following me. I don't think that he. Like, I think that Gendo respected Ritsuko and her mom in terms of like he respected their scientific work to a degree. Other than that, I don't think he respected them as people necessarily. Like I think he thought that he could just use them, and because they're so weak and kind of like they're not weak people, but they're weak to him, if that makes sense. Like because they would just kind of give in to whatever he wanted without asking for anything in return. Like they're not asking for any security or any power from him in return. They're just kind of like sleeping with him and then letting him do whatever he wants. And then Ritsuko and her mother would kind of bully everyone else, but they would never like do it to Gendo. So like yeah, so that's like a really dark little relationship triangle right there. But I don't think he really respected them. I think the only person that he respected is Yui, like fully as a person. And then I think there were people where like he was like, oh, you're good at this, you're good at this. Like Ritsuko, you're good at the science. Misato, you're good at commanding. But I don't think he like respected other people fully as people, because how can you create the instrumentality project for your own selfish gain of like wanting to see your loved one, and then you're willing to kill the whole world to do that? Like you don't respect people if you're doing that. He's like insane, man. What type of dino is Pen? He's a penguin, so yeah, he's what we call a living dinosaur or a bird, a neornithine, and he's in the group Neoaves, which is like basically ostriches and emus and kiwis are in one group called Paleognaths. They're at the base of the tree, evolutionary tree of birds. Then you have chickens and ducks in their own group. And then you have all other birds in Neoaves, which is like the new birds or modern birds. So that's what Pen is in. He's in modern birds. And penguins, we think as of today, they're most closely related to like loons, which kind of makes sense. So that's Pen's closest cousin. It's loons. Loon. Looney Tunes. Yeah, Shinji's dad is so evil. Shinji is a downer. Oh, I don't think Shinji's that much of a downer. I think he's just like you just gotta give him a little pep talk. Just gotta give him a little pep talk to get into Ava, or just to like live his life, and then he's good. And then he can like be really happy all of a sudden and like totally normal, which like I think is almost scarier, because it's like, what are you hiding? What are you about to do? Cosplay Mari. Yeah, I have not cosplayed her. I would though. Feel free to give me a cosplay. I have a throne wish list, so you can always send me cosplay on there. But yeah, usually I do Asuka because she's my favorite if I'm not doing Misato. Yeah, the science going on in Evangelion is crazy. Like, it would be interesting to listen to their science talk. Yeah, Misato's not gonna leave you behind. You think Gendo calls the Ava mommy? Yeah, I know. I was wondering that. I was like, is Gendo like up late at night, like walking by the Ava, like, hey baby, hey baby, I'm coming for ya. You just gotta kill the whole world first, and then just so I could see your face real quick, real quick. Kaji's spin-off series. Yeah, I love Kaji. He's so underrated. He gets so little screen time. That's so true. Rule one about understanding Evangelion. You will never fully understand it. Never invite Ritsuko to Fortnite. That's funny. Yeah, of course she wasn't gonna fucking hurt Gendo. She's like incapable. How did I find out about Neon Genesis Evangelion? Actually, my brother told me that I would probably like it, so I started watching it. Uh, my after hours were raw. What do you mean? But yeah, I'm feeling fine. I'm just like a little on edge, but I'm good. Overall, everything's good. Your favorite dinosaur is Triceratops. That's cool. Well, okay. I don't think Jurassic Park 3 is the worst movie in the franchise. I think, if anything, I would pick one of the Jurassic Worlds to be the worst in the franchise. I think Jurassic Park 3 was still pretty fun, and I love Spinosaurus. I like how they did the Spinosaurus. I like how Dr. Grant was in it and Ellie was in it, even though I wish she was like more in it, but whatever. But it's kind of the Jurassic Park 3 is kind of the last movie that's kind of true to the story of Jurassic Park, where they're kind of warning you to not like kill the world with science by wanting to be greedy and just like do science for the sake of like wanting to do science and making money off of it. And then after that, it's kind of like Jurassic World is cool because we get to see the theme park work, but it's kind of more about like the money in the theme park, and not, it's not like the original kind of like scientific story. Although I heard they're kind of returning maybe to that in Jurassic World Rebirth. It's going to be a little darker and more like focused on like the original meaning of Jurassic Park, which they definitely should do. I hope they do that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a little unrealistic that the kids survive that long, the dinosaurs, for sure. Especially because the dinosaurs have a better sense of smell than humans. Cobra chickens? What is a cobra chicken? Now I have to look that up. Oh, yeah, Canada goose. Yeah, I've been attacked by Canada geese a lot. It's very painful. Geese are really mean. Like, geese will attack you for no reason. Oh, you almost finished watching Evangelion. Yay. Now you can be in on the jokes. Who suffers more, Shinji or Denji? Like, suffers more, I would say. Oh, that's so hard. That's so hard. I want to say Denji. Um, Because I feel like Shinji, like, yeah, he suffers, but I don't know. It's like, well, he does suffer so much in the mind. It's just kind of harder to see it. You know what I mean? So it's hard to weigh it because we can't see a lot of his suffering, but he's like being traumatized. Yeah, I did do Daphne recently. Like, I think I did her for Halloween. That's a funny bird joke. A ship carrying thousands of gallons of whiskey recently sunk off of a coastline with lots of shorebirds. No turn was left unstoned. It's giving Black Lagoon. Specific music genres. I like all kinds of music. I love Lil Peep. I mean, oh, well, genres like rap. I love rap, hip hop. Um, and then I like some rock, some alternative, some like emo stuff. Like I like a little bit of everything. I like old country. Like the only thing I don't really like is like new, like super sugary, like souped up country. I don't really like that as much. But I like old country, like Johnny Cash and stuff. Um, yeah. Thank you, Aldo. Mexico sounds fun. A panel. Yeah, I'm actually trying to do some panels this year at a couple cons, so I'll let you guys know if I am accepted to those. Yeah, Jurassic World 3 was unhinged. I liked the unhinged part of it though. We're all unhinged here. Why do the anime girls treat the main character like a punching bag? I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, it kind of depends on which character, but I guess that's true a lot of the time. I think it's because they're usually trying to like teach the main character something, and it's usually like really hard for him to learn whatever the lesson is that he's supposed to learn. But I feel for that. I'm a pretty stubborn person, so it's hard for me to learn too. I get it. Yeah, that is kind of weird that he's like leading Dr. Grant around, but although Dr. Grant, but it was kind of smart of him to learn from the kid how he had been surviving if he did survive, because true goats like have to listen and learn from anyone, you know, whether they're a kid or not. Like I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm not gonna listen to this person because they're younger than me." It's like, so they might like know wisdom that you don't, you know, have just because they're younger. Like everyone has different life experiences. Denji's a massive gooner, so is Shinji. It's okay to be a gooner though. It's okay. I'm a massive gooner. I hurt my wrist gooning, so I had to take a break recently. Asuka torturing Shinji. Yeah, I think Asuka and Shinji just like trigger each other because they don't know how to communicate to each other, and then everything that they do, it just like pisses the other one off. Yeah, those geese will get you. Every time I've like gotten close to a goose, they just immediately scream and run and bite my leg. Like, and it really hurts. Like, they don't have teeth, but it hurts. It's like a clamp. It's like, psh. Not from the front, but from the side. They fucking get you. Zeppelin's fine. I like Zeppelin. It's not like my fave. I haven't listened to like a huge amount of them, but I like them. Hi, E. Yes, I like Johnny Cash and Hank Williams. The Daphne line. I kind of know what you're talking about, the Daphne line, but I honestly don't remember it. But I think it was. I think Daphne's line is something like "all boys are stupid," which I really don't like. I don't like when girls are like, boys, men, men are all stupid, men just like all want to treat us bad, and men just like want to use us for our bodies and like throw us away, and like men just like are lazy. It's like, no, like they're not. Like they're just like us. Like we're all people. Like stop trying to make it like men are just bad for being men. I don't like it. Alternative event of Neon Genesis Evangelion, but Gendo's present throughout Shinji's life. Well, then Evangelion just couldn't happen. Then his dad would just be like, it would just be like his dad at home with him in some like suburban house, and they're like playing catch and like smiling. That's it. They kind of like, actually, they kind of like did that in the Shinji Raising Project, whatever, Akari Raising Project manga. Like they made Masato his teacher, and like they like made everything be like the happy, fun version. Dinosaur that scientists are withholding information about. Yeah, there are always dinosaurs that scientists are withholding information about because, but not for like any crazy reason, but just because we have to withhold information until we publish it. Because if you talk about a dinosaur before it's published, then another scientist can just steal that from you. And like, we call it scooping, like, oops, scooping, like they can scoop from you. So you don't want someone to like publish a fossil before you publish about it, or publish an idea before you publish about it if it's your idea, because then they're getting credit for that when you did all the work, basically. So that's the only reason that we ever like withhold information about dinosaurs. Other than that, most paleontologists just like aren't on social media or anything, and so it's really hard to get information out of them. So I don't think they're doing it on purpose, other than for competition within paleontology. I cured your depression, yay! Uh, yeah, yeah. Like new research is always like disproving older research, but um, like that needs to happen in like in science. Like we should, as scientists, put our egos aside and be happy if we're disproven, because that means science is moving forward. But the thing is, we need the papers that were wrong, or like the first papers. They're not always wrong. Sometimes they have things that are right in them, and sometimes, usually they're kind of a combo of like, okay, we got some things right, we got this right, but we got XYZ wrong. And the next generation, with their better technology and more fossils and more information, is going to be able to put the puzzle pieces together better than we did. But like, they couldn't even like see what the puzzle pieces were if we didn't like put the puzzle together first once. You know what I mean? So like science is like a long thing. Like I'm still citing papers from people that have died from like the 1800s, 1950s, 1970s all the time, because like I'm building off of all the knowledge that those people spent their life gathering, because there's so much knowledge we don't have and we'll never have all of it. We'll never even be close to having all of it. And so I'm building off of what they used their whole ass lifetime to get, of like, 60 years of work. And then I'm using that to jump off so then I can go get more data and reach beyond where they couldn't get to, because they had to like kind of get that first stepping stone of knowledge so that I could reach to the next stepping stone. And then the people that come after me are going to reach to the next one, So as scientists, we shouldn't make it about us, because it's not really about whether we're wrong or right. It's like, as long as we're doing our best at the time and we can justify what we're doing and it's like above board, like that's all we can do. That's all we can like hope for. And we're just like doing the best we can and deducing like what the most likely answer is based on the data that we have available at the time. That's really all we are capable of doing. But, we get pretty far with that. I mean, look at modern medicine and all of these things and what we know about evolution and the dinosaurs. We can get pretty far. So yeah, science is cool, but I think definitely that's something that needs to be kept in mind about science, because there's a lot of scientists even that get too caught up in the ego part, and it just makes for really bad science, and then they're publishing things that are wrong, sometimes knowingly, to try to, get attention. And now you're causing confusion for future generations who are going to look back at these papers, and then they're going to have to sift through and like figure out what's true and what's not, and maybe they have to go travel and look at the specimen, and gonna be a whole thing that you didn't have to create, that you were just doing for your ego. There are scientists like that, but that's not what I believe in. And I've had to be one of those people that had to go back and sift through people's fake shit that they made up to get published, and it sucks. And all it does is just like slow down our progress as like humans. Okay, where was I in the chat? This is a fun conversation, guys. Yeah, the pea grenades are funny. I don't know if the pea grenades could have worked. Maybe I should look into that for a video. Oh yeah, okay, so geese, they don't have teeth. They have lamellae. So lamellae are like, they're made out of keratin, which is like what your fingernails and your hair is made out of. And the lamellae are used to like filter feed. So basically the beak will like move through the water, and then they're like filter feeding like little bits of plants and like invertebrates and stuff through those. Basically, like the lamellae are kind of like combs. Like they look like teeth, but they're more like filtering combs, and they're not made out of bone. But they still hurt really bad, because the geese have really strong jaw muscles. So like when they clamp down on you, like it feels like a bone, but it's actually like just protein, like keratin protein. Hi JG, how are you? Sorry, I'm a little behind on the chat because I keep fucking yapping. I'm kind of a yapper. I feel like I'll be either like dead quiet or I'll be like yapping a million miles a second. What's a gooner? That stuff's not for kids. Things I'm passionate about besides Ava and dinos. A lot of stuff. Black Lagoon. No, other than Black Lagoon. I mean, anime in general. I love anime. Going into nature, like I love hiking, being outside, like in nature, like in forests, and like I love going out west in wide open spaces. Um, Things I'm passionate about, like uh creating this like like our community and stuff. Oh, thank you Crimsono Cavalier Cavalier for following me. Ada. I don't know, because I'm passionate about creating this like community because I want to help other people with it, because I want you guys to feel like you have a place to belong and someone to talk to, because like I didn't have that, and I don't want anyone to have to go through that, what I went through, or like go through it alone. So I'm passionate about helping people that way. Um Passionate about science and like a lot of stuff. I don't know. Like pretty much a lot of stuff. I mean like I'm a very passionate person. The cope and marsh shit, yeah, that has never died. It's still cope and marsh out here in the paleo world. They haven't done it to the scale of cope and marsh because there's like too much fact checking now for that. But you can still, I mean, you can still do it at a scale that is quite surprising, I would say. Oh, the Phantosaur. That's true. Scooby Doo. I don't remember that one, but I can look into it. Yeah, exactly. Red Comet. My one of my really good mentors told me that too. Um, don't be married to your own ideas. Always keep an open mind and be willing to change your mind. Be willing to adapt, because the world is way too crazy. It is not all going to make sense in your mind. And if it's making sense in your mind, you're probably wrong about it. Thank you, Simon, for subscribing. Ada. You were thinking historians. Yeah. History is really interesting. I love learning about history. I love learning about like ancient Egypt. Oh, hi, Deadpool 3, fellow paleontologist. That's cool. What do you study? Um, Paleontology is mostly like examining the bones in museums and collections at universities and writing about them. And then the field work is like, usually it's like 3 months a year maximum. Just because field work is really expensive to go look for dinosaurs, so you're kind of scrounging whatever money you can with grants and funding from your institution. Um, so yeah, and then but you still get to like be around the fossils all the time and handle them and like look at them. So you have to for research. But yeah, it would, a lot of us would love to be in the field all the time. Like I love being outside collecting stuff. I love collecting stuff and looking at fossils and collecting data more than I love writing about it. Um, But it is important to write about it so that future generations can have the knowledge you've learned from it. I have a backlog of papers I need to finish, but that's kind of always how it goes. Yeah, exactly. Scientists, we're always standing on the shoulders of giants. Thanks for coming back, Roborexy. Oh, pea grenades. We were talking about Jurassic Park 3, how the kid survived the T Rex. Um, Fantastic idea. What's a fantastic idea? Sorry, I forgot what I said. Making a real life Evangelion? You could probably make a case about robotics technology and outer space technology or NASA. um, Thanks for coming, Jerome. Oh yeah, yeah. There's definitely a whole industry of fake journals that publish fake information, or like a lot of them. It's even worse. They're just predatory, and they publish like real papers, but they prey on like um, younger career scientists like my age, and like I get emails from those places all the time. They're like, "Oh, we saw your paper and we want to publish it in our journal," or like, "Do you have something for this journal?" And it's like human genetics, and I'm like, I don't even work on human genetics, bitch. So no, get the fuck away from me. And it's always like misspelled or something. So I mean, luckily they're pretty easily to avoid. But no, I've known paleontologists who have made stuff up that has gotten into Nature and the New York Times and all that and published as though it's one thing, and the truth was so different. But that happens. So it happens in legitimate journals that paleontologists will make things up to get attention. And it's not that you can't exaggerate. Like, I think it's fair to exaggerate things a little, or like to make things seem like a better news story to get attention for your research if it's like a good faith effort. But if you're publishing something completely wrong, especially when you know it's completely wrong, and it's like, you should know, at least you need to know in your head that you tried your best to like assess what this thing is, or like, I mean, in my opinion. But especially if you're publishing it knowing it's wrong, like that's kind of fucked. Um, at the least, you can like submit a correction paper, which some people will do, but the problem with that is, most people don't read the correction papers, and then all of the news stories in the media that was around the initial big paper is still out there, and the public doesn't like has no idea about the correction paper, and they can't get access to it. And like on the other side, like those paleontologists would probably argue to me that um well, we need attention and funding for our research, and this is like the only way we could do it. And it's like, I kind of get that, but I just don't know. It's just hard to justify for me for dinosaurs. Like maybe for human medicine I could see that justification. Not that dinosaurs aren't really important, but I think there are different priorities of like science that we might need today, right now, to stay alive. But then there are also just people that just do the Cope and Mars shit where they like argue against something that there's so much evidence for when the field is changing. Like, for example, when people first thought that dinosaurs were related to birds, when they were first kind of figuring that out, there were a number of paleontologists who just flat out disagreed with that. And even though they did good work in some areas of paleontology, like I still cite some of their papers about fossils, they would also then turn around and write these long letters on like why dinosaurs are not birds and why birds are not related. And they definitely are related. So you can also have scientists who like genuinely believe they're doing the right thing when like clearly they just really don't want to be wrong about this one thing, even though they're really good scientists. So those are kind of like heartbreaking cases. Or not really heartbreaking, but frustrating maybe is more accurate. Does booze count? I mean, booze can count for whatever. Wish I had some right now, but I just have water because I'm being, trying to be a little healthier. Thanks for coming, Liquid Shinjo. Yes, very true. If something immoral and profitable exists, it will always be exploited. So true. I thought ara ara means like thank you. Do I listen to Playboy Cardi? Yeah, I have. I do sometimes. I love a bunch of rap. Yes, that's true. The human ego is... It's hard to get it to adapt to reality. Bacher versus Horner. Oh, we've had a lot more in more recent years, but the thing is like, us paleontologists, I don't know, it's like no one talks about it, because we can't really right now. Yeah, so I share as much as I can about paleontology, but there's some things where it's like I can't share it because I don't want to hurt my career over like calling out someone else. Like I'll do it when I can if it's a battle that I think is worthwhile, but you know. And I do in my papers. I call out people who have like said things that are wrong. I'll correct it in my paper if it's relevant. But it's difficult. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to not be able to call out people. But the thing is that paleontology, you're working on physical, bone, pieces of rock that slash bone, and you have to work with certain people to be able to work on those things. So, and like, as long as the person isn't doing something completely terrible, like assaulting people or like something really bad, like, even if they're like publishing things that are wrong or whatever, I'd still be willing to work with them if they're like a decent person to me, treat me okay, like treat me well. But and I like have no problem saying in my paper, like calling them out. Like I'm not going to put my name on a paper where they're publishing something wrong, but I'll still work with them to find fossils and publish on some stuff where like I make sure everything in my paper with them is correct. Because there's just so few of us paleontologists. We kind of have to work with like what we have. Yep. There's a couple. There's a couple paleontologists that have destroyed rival paleontologist fossils recently. Thank you, Matthew James. Thanks, Logan. Don't make real life Evangelion. Why not? Maybe that should be the goal of Reisuka. So we're trying to make the instrumentality project. Yeah, people work in paleontology without a PhD. I'm actually gonna make a video about that on YouTube of how to become a paleontologist at all different levels. I think I'm gonna do that next month. You can be a preparator, like the people that cut the fossils out of the rock. There's some different like museum jobs. You can also work in construction and like identify fossils in the field to see like, because before they do construction anywhere, they have to check for human remains and they have to check for fossils to make sure it's not like a super important site and that there are no human remains there. So otherwise they need to like excavate for those things. You can also like be a park ranger at a park that houses fossils. So there's like a lot of stuff you can do with different degrees, and like there's some things you can do with no degree. So, but yeah, I'll make a video about that soon. You think you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, well, it's okay. Oh, yeah, if you publish something you knew was wrong, I see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't like ends justify the means either. Like, that's not how I operate either. But, you know, sometimes you have to work with people who think that way, unfortunately. Can't like all of your coworkers. You know, like not all of your coworkers are gonna be like you. That's the thing. Like people are always like, "Oh, paleontology is such a fun job." It's like there are fun aspects of it, but we still have like really shitty coworkers and like job, you know, the office kind of shit. Like we still deal with that. Hate yourself, have less of have less of an ego, be like Shinji. No, I mean like don't hate yourself, but you know, you can put your ego aside and make a rational decision based on the information you have. And then you can still love yourself and like, you know, it's just you don't have to attach your ego to your ideas. You don't have to attach your ego to what you're creating. Like you can just kind of let it go and like it doesn't have to define you. But some people make the mistake of thinking like everything they make or everything they say like has to define them forever. And that's where the logic trap is, because it's like, well, if you're really interested in getting close to like the truth, which is what I think the goal of science should be, then or understanding the truth, then you have to be willing to be always changing your ideas based on like new information. Been sober all your life. Wow, I can't imagine. Yeah, I am kind of doing dry January actually. I mean, not full. Like, I'm gonna have a couple weekends where I'm not, but I'm kind of trying to do dry January a little bit, you know. If I keep going down the Masato train, it's just gonna go. If I go too far down, it's like gonna be bad. So, I don't want to become an addict. So it's good to take a break every now and then. Not that there's anything wrong if you are an addict. I'm not judging you, man. Like, I've been there. It's just easier to like stay off that train, you know what I mean? And healthier. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm the one withholding the fact that Spinosaurus actually flew with its sails, and we can actually use it as a military weapon. Like, if only the U.S. had a Spinosaurus that could fly by flapping its sails, we would be the most powerful military ever in the history of all time. But I'm just not willing to give up that information. It's too important to me. Raysuka Raptor. Make a Raysuka Raptor. I am like a Velociraptor. It's a little bit of me. I'm a little like, I'm gonna fucking claw you. I'm gonna fucking jump on you and claw you. New Gundam show. That's cool. I did not see that. What is it called? Oh yeah, well Deadpool 3E. I would no, I would have no problem like exposing people if um we didn't have to work together, but we do. And like if they're not, and if I think they're like overall good, I won't expose them, because you have to also weigh like, does this person deserve to be canceled or exposed? And that's the other thing. But the reality is just there's so few paleontologists with a PhD that like have access to these things, and I am one of them. But like there's just so few of us that it's like actually like I can like count most of them that are still working like on my two hands. Like it's just that there's so few of us. We need to work together. Like no matter what we think about each other, we're just better together. It's better to not fight about it unless someone is doing really horrific things. Obviously, that is the exception. Like paleontology as a field can't survive unless we work together. But yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind like talking drama if I think it's warranted. You would love to be a tour guide, seriously. I see how it'd be fun. You would be a really good tour guide, Simon. I've like given tours before. It is kind of fun. I just I wouldn't do it all the time. I've done it for like special clients and stuff coming to the museum, but um it's just I wouldn't want that to be my main thing because I'd be like, I could be doing research on these dinosaurs right now. But it's fun to talk to people about it because it's fun to see how excited people get about the dinosaurs, and like it's like I get to see dinosaurs through their eyes for the first time. So that part's fun. Because I do miss that feeling. I still get it sometimes, but I can't get it like all the time because I'm looking at the dinosaurs all the time, you know? It's like I'm a little bit immune to it. It's like when you listen to ASMR a little too much and you're like a little immune to ASMR, but you're like, but I want to like feel the goodness of ASMR. Like that's how I am with the dinosaurs. But I love them. I mean, I have like gone through hell and back and risked my life for dinosaurs, so you know they know I love them. Those dead birds know I love them very much. Thanks for coming, Matthew. Dive into insane fucked up internet lore. That sounds fun. I like to look at unhinged Evangelion memes. The more unhinged, the better. My Twitter is very unhinged and fucked up. Yeah, yeah, not drinking alcohol definitely you can see improvements in your body and your brain within days. It's definitely good to not drink it. It's definitely bad for you. Um, I just I love it, but yeah, that you have to be careful with it. It is very harmful. I feel like alcohol is gonna be kind of my. I'm like a zillennial. I'm like on the edge of Gen Z and millennial. But I feel like alcohol is gonna be kind of our generation's cigarettes. Like when I was growing up, I knew like, oh, don't touch a cigarette. Like cigarettes are so bad for you. Look at this person's lung after they smoked cigarettes for their whole life. Oh my God, it's horrible. But no one told us growing up that like alcohol was bad. Like alcohol was always kind of seen as like alcohol is healthier than cigarettes, and like it's legal, so it's like, you know, it's good for you, it's fun party. So like so I grew up drinking alcohol, and like um now like very recently there's been studies coming out saying that it's connected to all these cancers, and especially like colon cancer, and has all of these other like really harsh effects on your body. So definitely like don't take it lightly. Even though I joke about it a lot. So, but and I have like struggled with um like alcohol addiction, definitely. But I'm in a good place now where I use it in you know, I'm not I'm not perfect by any means or close to that, but I'm like, you know, I can be sober for a month, I can be sober for a week, whatever, and it's not, I'm not like, oh my God, I need to have a drink, you know. But there was like a time when I had to kind of pull myself back from that edge. Um, Over the past year, especially, and like, The reason that I'm telling you guys this is like, first of all, I don't want you to be ashamed if you struggle with anything to do with substances, because I know it's really shamed, but the reality is that most people struggle with it to some degree, with something, with some kind of substance. And like, I make a lot of jokes about alcohol, and like, yeah, I have some issues with alcohol, but I also can have fun on alcohol and not be on alcohol all the time. And that's my choice, whatever. But I also want to like be real about the fact that it is not like a safe thing, because I have a lot of followers, and I know I have a lot of young followers that are younger than me, and I don't want you guys thinking like it's all a joke. Like, it's not all funny. It's not all like, oh, I'm just gonna drink a bunch of beer because Mommy Mazzato drinks it, even though like that's cute. But like it's funny, but it's like, I don't want you guys to do what I did, So like, I want you guys to like be safe and like take care of yourselves. So I just want to like make sure like the reality of it. You know what I mean? Um, because yeah. And like alcohol and other substances, I mean, I'm sure you guys have been told this. Like, I'm not saying this to fucking be like, don't you. I don't know if I can say that word. Don't do rugs or alcohol. Um, I'm not here to be that person, because, who I am, but I'm just saying be careful, and yeah, because it's not worth your life. And like, any problems that you have, like, it will temporarily fix them, but then it's gonna make them like much worse if things get out of control. So just keep that in mind. But I joke about it all the time because it is like, something that I deal with. So yes, I agree, Jolly Reaper. It's always good to dry out a little bit. Just have a little more moderation. Just have a little more balance. Try to take a step back. That's what I'm trying to learn to do. Take a step back. It's hard for me because, I'm a velociraptor. So it's a quick react. I'm just like a fucking right there. But, it's good to try to breathe. Yes, I love ASMR. I actually have some ASMR videos up, or at least one up on my YouTube right now, a Mazzato one. Oh yeah, you can be a paleontologist and work for oil and gas, because paleontologists work for oil and gas because there's certain fossils, like mostly trilobites and like old stuff, like older than dinosaurs. But there are certain fossils that like indicate where oil can be. I think that's how it works. I don't exactly know, but that's kind of what I heard. So that you can make a lot of money as a paleontologist doing that. But I study dinosaurs, so. And I'm interested in evolution, not oil and gas, but. But they are a big part of paleontology. Hi, Darth Cross. Thanks for coming. No worries. Oh, yeah, I hate medicine commercials. They creep me out. It's like It'll be the smiling person, and they're like, "Oh my god, this medicine cured me of cancer and depression," and then it's like someone's reading out like, this medicine could kill you and also make your liver die and also like blah 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 blah. It's scary. Tequila, I like tequila. Hopefully I'm allowed to talk about this on Twitch and YouTube. And I'm never quite sure. Oh, I'm sorry, Shinjigami. I'm proud of you for taking time off. A Vegas trip because you know I love going to Vegas. I love the strip. Oh, Addie, hi. Oh, thanks, Alex B Tax, for following me. Alex by Tax. Ada ada. Why are you never safe? Oh, walking flight risk. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. Oh yeah, gambling addiction I think is also very scary. Yeah. Yeah, I just like don't. I just don't like I love going to Vegas and like walking around with my Fat Tuesdays cup, but like I gamble some, but I don't like let myself go beyond a certain point. Like I'll kind of like set like okay, this is like how much money you can spend cuz like I can't lose my money. Like I came from nothing. Like I'm not going to lose my fucking money. Like not that I have, you know, much, but like I feel like I just work too hard to like spend it on that. But I totally see how you could be addicted to it. Like, but that's why I'm careful about it because I can kind of, my personality is like, I can kind of be addicted to anything. It just kind of happens to be alcohol because that's what I've had the most. But, because I'm crazy like that. Oh, yeah, I remember those ads. Hi, Alejandro. That's funny, Simek. Thanks, Jolly Reaper. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just feel like I want to be real about it because, yeah, exactly. Everything you said. This is your brain on Dino Facts. Do I collect fossils? I mean, I've collected fossils like for museums and universities. I don't like have a personal collection of fossils. I have a couple that were gifted to me from um, people in the field or like people from different countries that I've worked with. But I don't ever keep fossils from the field. Um, Unless it was like an accident or something, but that like would pretty much never happen. I don't have any. But like there's some paleontologists I know who are like much older that have like, you know, a couple like little fossil shells or something that like got into their pocket when they were laying in the tent. But like as paleontologists, like we don't want to have a personal collection of fossils because we think that if it's an important fossil, it should be in a museum so that the public can have access to it and scientists can have access to it to study. So yeah, the only ones I have are a couple like that were gifted to me by people from other countries, and they're just like little fish that are very common, so they already have like thousands of these, and they just gave it to me as like a token of appreciation. When I found it in the field, they were like, oh, you can just have this because it's so common, like we can't even study all of them. um but that usually doesn't happen. um and yeah, I don't condone like buying fossils. I mean, if it's just like a little ammonite or like a tooth, mosasaur tooth or whatever at the gem store, like it's not gonna be groundbreaking for science. So like, I think that's fine to buy, but I don't condone like the people who just like buy an entire dinosaur and put it in their living room and no one can study it. Like, I don't love that, but at the same time, I really appreciate those people because, they love dinosaurs enough to buy one, and like they probably fund a bunch of research at the same time. And sometimes like private collectors can have really rare things that they've bought, that we as paleontologists can never have access to, and then those collectors will let you study stuff. So like people who do that are really cool. So like it kind of depends on the situation, but I just think for me as a scientist, like I wouldn't buy it is more what I mean. The parasites are getting to me. Okay. Good for you, Dennis. I hope it's helpful. You can tell if someone's super addicted to the internet. Yeah, I don't think I'm really. I usually try to like get my phone away from me, but it's hard because um, the social media. Like I want to post on social media and talk to you guys, but other than that, I kind of don't use my phone for a lot. I try to like get off my phone because it's just like gonna rot my brain out. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely have times where I was addicted to my phone. I think everyone does. Like, how can you not? Um, no, it wasn't Carboniferous. It's like Eocene, more recent stuff. Yeah, microfossils. I don't know a huge amount about that though. You like brandy? I haven't really tried that much brandy. I really like rum is my fave liquor. I would say, hopefully, I can talk about this. I would say rum and then tequila. I used to like gin a lot, but I've kind of done some hardcore things on gin. But I would say tequila and then like maybe gin and then I also like but bourbon and whiskey. I think I would put bourbon and whiskey with tequila. Yes, I'm okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm alive. Ooh, a paloma. That's cool. Yeah, I like mezcal bars. I don't really understand what mezcal is, but I like all the different flavors. I live in Texas, so we have a bunch of different tequila here in mezcal and stuff. We have good margaritas. Now, now you guys are making me want a fucking margarita. I'm trying to be sober. Well, okay, but if you know it has origins in some more rancid parts of the internet, doesn't that mean that you had to go to the rancid parts of the internet first, though? Seems kind of sus. And if so, then what? Tell me what these rancid parts are so I can go to them as well, please. Thank you. Oh, you got pics with bunny girls. That's fun. You work for a Vegas strip property? Well, that's cool. I'm going to Vegas in not this weekend, but next weekend, so might see me around. Oh, Pisco. I like Pisco. I've had it when I went to dig up dinosaurs in Chile. They gave us Pisco. Dino facts make your brain healthy. Your brain will only be healthy if you consume more of my videos, guys. You need to consume as many of my videos and posts and words and live streams and zoom into pictures of my eye and stare at it and don't sleep and just keep staring at my face. And that's the only way that you're going to cure your depression. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying about the casino thing now. That's smart. Animal Crossing. Yeah, I know. I would love it to be like Animal Crossing. I mean, you can, it depends where you live. Like where I live in Texas, you can find fossils every day. Like you could find fossil oysters, or you're just not going to find fossil dinosaurs every day. But yeah, but I mean, there's some parts of the world where you could do that. Like when I worked in China, I was working out in these really like rural areas, and like a lot of times they didn't really know like what a fossil was necessarily, so they were like using fossils for door stops. I know Simon said there's a place in Brazil where people do that too, but they're like using fossils, you know, just to like put their plates on whatever. Like they didn't care. And then we were like looking for fossils on their land. Like we got permission, of course, but they're really nice. Like pretty much everyone was so nice in China. I love going to China. But yeah, and they were like, so then we were telling them about the fossils that they've just been using around their house for like normal day to day stuff. And they're like, wow, like we had no idea. We got a translator, of course. I wish I spoke Mandarin, but that's cool. You have an ammonite. Yeah, I'm not trying to hate on anyone with a fossil collection. It's just my instinct is a little like, but put it in the museum. It belongs in a museum. But you know, if it's something that's like, yeah, like, and we need the truth is we need private collectors and we need the black market because the black market is always going to exist and you can't get rid of the black market, and you know you're not going to get rid of private collectors. And so again, it's just like what I was saying before in paleontology, we all need to work together because we have limited fossils and limited people to get fossils from, and we all need to work together if we're gonna figure anything out. At the end of the day, that's like what it is, you know. It's like Black Lagoon. It's fine. It's like, yeah, there's a little bit where it's like, yeah, ideally it would all be in the museum, but the world doesn't work like that. Yep, yep, exactly. Same with archaeology. What kind of rum do I like? Um, oh, I usually drink Bacardi, just like normal, whatever. But I really like Kraken. Kraken's really good. And like Trader Vic's. Doritos and soda sounds good. Why I don't wear a cowboy hat all the time? I want to get cowboy boots. I've lived in Texas long enough. I'm like I kind of want cowboy boots, but I don't have a hat. Or like, well, I have like cosplay hats. I don't have like real cowboy stuff. Like you can get some real cowboy stuff down here. Thanks, Ricky. Dude, daiquiri sounds good. Peruvian pisco. I want to go to Peru. They have some cool dinosaurs. I think Velociraptor would taste like probably more like duck, because duck or turkey, like because they're more wildish, but I think it'd be a lot more gamey and chewy. I'm glad my face makes you happier. See, it works. It's proof that it will cure your depression, guys. Yeah, fossils can definitely be damaged when they're dug up. Like, it depends. Sometimes can be intentional, sometimes not. But usually it's not. Usually it's, especially if it's dug up by like paleontologists like me or whatever, or other paleontologists. Like, I mean, usually you're just trying to do your best to not break it getting out of the ground. Especially if you're doing plaster casting around the fossil, that's like a whole thing. It's really easy to break the fossil. It depends like what how it's preserved and what kind of um soil you're digging it out of. Like sometimes the fossil can be really hard and it's not going to break. Like it'll literally kind of be something like this. But sometimes, like I've worked in some places, like there's this one place in China that was so frustrating because it was like the texture of the soil. It also had rain that day, so it was the worst combination. Um, but the soil was like literally mud texture, and the way the bone was preserved, it was like little. It would be like a big bone like this would like be kind of sticking towards the surface. So it's like, oh, I just want to grab it, but you can't because like it would be all flaking out. So it was just really hard. It was like you kind of had to dig around the mud and try to like keep it in as much as you can, but it was just kind of like flaking and exploding everywhere. So it kind of depends on conditions. But usually it's like if it's broken, it's just by accident, or sometimes people break them just by dropping them while they're looking at them. I mean, that's rare, but it can happen, especially with students. Um, that's why, like, when I'm showing students how to hold a fossil, like, I show them, like, how to hold it safely and that they need to hold it over something and have it be low to, like, the table or whatever. And, like, ideally have a, like, foam surface under it, like I'm really experienced and I'm good with my hands, not to brag. So, you know, I'm a little more cavalier sometimes, but even I'm like I have not broken, a fossil like that, knock on wood, but I'm still very paranoid about it. So I still like hold them very carefully in certain ways. But like especially if it's like someone just starting out, I'm like extra paranoid about showing them how to hold it. And sometimes I won't. Depends if they're a grad student or like if they're kind of just volunteering. I'm like, and it depends on the rarity of the fossil, depends how fragile the fossil is. Like, it's a lot of factors. Yeah, spiced rum is good. I like dark rum. Yeah, Stetson hat. That's what I was thinking of. Hi, Dark and Dawn. Thanks for coming, Crimsonal. Yes, I will do more Oscar Bikini videos. How do they make the fossils seen in museums? So usually what they do is most of the fossil you see is a cast, if not all of it. And then, so usually when we find a dinosaur, we almost never find like the entire skeleton. But in a museum, they can like make a cast to make a complete skeleton based off of a bunch of different specimens, or based off of like calculating what we think the other bones would look like, and we'll also like compare it to birds and crocodiles and stuff like that. Like titanosaurs, usually for titanosaurs only the legs are real and the rest is all kind of calculated based on other long neck dinosaurs that are closely related to them. Thanks, Ollie Fab, for following me. Ara ara. So yeah, and usually, you can definitely tell, like if you have a trained eye for looking at bone like me, I can tell when something's real bone or not. Like real bone, this is fake bone. You can tell because it's very dull. Real bone is a lot shinier. I don't have a real bone to show you because, you know, I don't keep fossils in my home because they belong in a museum. Oops. Sorry, my alarm's going off. But yeah, so fake bone, a lot more dull. Usually you can kind of tell, like, see how there's these kind of weird bumps, and they don't really look natural. Like, they kind of look like someone put clay and, like, you know, kind of went like this and made this shape. Whereas with bone, especially like for me, like I've memorized like every little feature on every bone of every like different group of bird and every dinosaur like closely related to birds. So like I know when a feature is missing or if a feature doesn't look right or natural. So yeah, I can always go into a museum and like spot which bones are real. But some museums will put real bones on display. Most of them, they'll like put some real ones up that are not, that they don't need to study, and then they can always like take them down if people need to study them. Especially the big museums like in New York and Washington, like a lot of those bones are real. But then you have museums that will just show all casts, which is also cool too, because then you get to see like a lot more dinosaurs. So there's like pros and cons to both. Like I like to see the real thing, but that also it's like that's what I work on and I would notice, you know. But I think it's cool for the public to be able to see more dinosaurs. And also with the fake bones, they're a lot cheaper to mount, and you can like mass produce them. And it's especially great for like developing countries that are trying to like create museums to get started. So that's a whole other thing I could go into, but I feel like I need to stop myself before I keep rambling about it. So I'll go on forever. Okay. Favorite fossil? I mean, birds, Cretaceous to early Paleogene birds. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to find. But that's what no one has been able to find yet, really. And I would even take bird-like dinosaurs, because those would be our missing links. Out of invertebrate fossils, I think Nautilus are really cool. Yeah, Nautilus. I think I'm saying it right. Um, but a lot of invertebrate fossils are like impressions. Oh, wait. No, the one I like, it's like, but I forgot what it's called. Sea lily. Sea lily. Sea lilies are really cool. And they can be giant. They can be like as big as a mosasaur. Oh, animatronic dinosaurs. Yeah, those can be fun. But then he immediately dropped the fossil. Sad. Hopefully it was a cast, but I mean, it probably wasn't like super important for science, luckily. Favorite Pokemon? I have so many, but I love the classics like Pikachu, Eevee, Mew, Eevee evolutions, Articuno, Mewtwo, like Charizard, Charmander, Bulbasaur. I like Chikorita. I don't know. I like a bunch of them. Natural History Museum, New York. Yes, I've worked there before many times. Yeah, and in Smithsonian in DC, you can watch the preparators working to get the fossils out of the rock. Yeah, Utah's a great place to look at dinosaurs. Oh yeah, crinoids are cool. Yeah. How is he so good at the Shinji? Yeah, I don't know. He didn't practice it or anything. He just like started doing it for fun, and I was like, "Wow, you're really good at the Shinji voice." He's just born with it. Thanks for coming, Lucas. Thanks, Ricky. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go, guys. But it was really fun. Thanks for coming to my stream. I think I will. I can't remember if I'm streaming at the same time next week. But I'll stream next week regardless. But I'm going to a con, and I can't remember if I'm going Thursday or Friday. So, but I'll let you guys know on Instagram. So, yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for coming. Hope you have a good weekend. Don't give up. We'll thug it out together. Love you guys. Bye.